Life imprisonment. Those persecuting Nnamdi Kanu will soon face the reckoning day. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's oldest brother. I make this comment. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters. Happy New Day. I am speaking to you from the platform of Okute Daily Talk 2 channel, where we always speak to you the undiluted truth about everything. So please, come close. Let me hold you by your hands to tell you what we have for you today, being the 6th day in the month of January and in the year of 2026. Please, as you are watching, like, share, comment, subscribe, and make sure you follow us on all our social media handles. And my God must surely follow you to solve all your problems. Reckoning day awaits those mocking Nnamdi Kanu and using it as a belt to tarnish the image of Nnamdi Kanu and family. Okay, let me just read the article here because I have a lot of things to say over this matter. But I would like you to watch this message from beginning to the end so that you will understand the whole message line by line. Oh yeah, let's go there, please. Prince Emmanuel Kanu, the brother of Nnamdi Kanu, has warned that those persecuting and mocking the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, will soon face the reckoning day. This one I am reading from Daily Post. NigeriaNews.com also have a different version of it, but let me just concentrate on this. In a post on his Facebook page, which happened yesterday being Monday, the 5th day in the month of January in the year of 2026, Prince Emmanuel Kanu addressed those who he said are behind the conviction and the sentencing of IPOB. Prince Emmanuel Kanu was also responding to persons who have been mocking Kanu on the social media after he was sentenced to life imprisonment by Injustice James Omotosho of the Abuja Fulani High Court. Kanu is currently serving the sentence at the Sokoto prison. The younger brother warned that those behind the imprisonment of the IPOB leader will suffer the same fate when the time is right. He said, and I quote, "Those praising evil and illegitimately targeting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through mockery and imprisonment will soon face inevitable reckoning. The same collective effort used to wrongfully convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be their undoing. Their bases will fracture and implode, visible to the world. Anyone attempting to exploit laws to imprison you will instead face merciless justice. Their schemes will backfire and they will fall prey to the very pit they created, ensnared by superior laws." Kanu was on November 20, 2025 convicted on terrorism charges filed against him by the Fulani government of Nigeria. However, the IPOB leader and his defense team have faulted the judgment which convicted him, arguing that the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act of 2013, under which he was charged, had been repealed by the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022, and as such, the conviction was based on a repealed law. That is the argument Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brother is making here. Let me make one thing clear. This guy is among those, or rather, the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lasted for so long in the DSS, when they went from behind to go and sign a shady deal with Seyi Tinubu, that if their father won the election, that Nnamdi Kanu is going to be freed. But when the thing backfired, that was when they came out and began to cry foul that you never keep to your word. If the Northerners who put Tinubu as a president, who trusted them, or rather trusted him with all their votes, should come out and cry of betrayal, that Tinubu betrayed them, then who are you that say Tinubu will not betray? My brother, betrayal is in the DNA of every Yoruba man or woman. It depends on the one you met. Maybe they have betrayed you or they are planning to betray you. But in one way or the other, you must surely be betrayed. This one is not under probability, whether you like it or not. You must surely do what? You must surely be betrayed by these charlatans. So, back to Emmanuel Kanu, crying foul that those who imprison Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which you are one of them, Now, because the thing didn't work out, you now turn back now to accuse people of, or rather accuse people of marking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. While in you are among those whom do what? Who imprison Mazi Nnamdi Kanu directly or indirectly. Anyway, we have another message here before us. According to Reverend Ezekiel Dachemo, he said, this is not farmer headers clash. It is organized ethnic cleansing of Christians in Plateau and that of Benue State. Please let us listen to this little clip and then we'll come back here for more discussion. I might breach it along the way if I have anything to say concerning the matter going on. So please, tighten your seatbelts as we move on.
Farmer-herder clash. It's organized ethnic cleansing of Christians. In an impassioned press conference held on December 31st, 2025, Reverend Ezekiel Dachemo, a prominent leader in the Church of Christ in Nations, COCIN, and chairman of its regional church council in Bokos, Plateau State, accused Nigerian authorities of complicity in what he described as a systematic genocide, targeting Christian communities across the country's northern and middle belt regions. Flanked by representatives from the Christian Association of Nigeria, KAN, Plateau State Chapter, and the Coalition of Indigenous Youth Bodies of Plateau State, Dachemo presented documents, victim lists, and graphic evidence to journalists, urging immediate international action to halt the violence.
This is genocide! From the bottom of my heart, this is genocide! It is genocide of Christians in Nigeria. We are being killed because we are Christians. Our villages are being emptied, renamed, and occupied by those who kill us, and government is doing nothing about it to restore us back to the land of our fathers. During the last administration, the federal government project was cited in one of such villages with the name the intendant gave the village after renaming it. Our churches and schools are burned to the ground. Our pastors are assassinated. Our daughters are forcefully married off, as in the case of Chibok girls in Borno State. No Islamic lady of not has spoken against what is happening. Not the NSCIA, not the Muri, not the Jedi, and not the Mullah, not the Jibris, not the Emirs, not the Shebus, not the Sultans, not the Imams, not the Council of Ulama.
Drawing from biblical references like John 8:32, the truth will set you free. Dachemo opened the event with a prayer for peace in Nigeria, emphasizing that lies destroy the nation, but the truth always saves the nation. He positioned himself not just as a pastor, but as a first-hand witness to the atrocities, recounting personal losses. I have buried more than 70 victims in my lifetime. I have lost my blood relatives and even my best friends. I have cried with the bereaved. I have walked through burned villages and held services in burned churches. The cleric detailed a pattern of attacks he claims are orchestrated to eradicate Christian presence from ancestral lands. This is not a conflict between farmers and herders, he asserted. It is a systematic, organized campaign to wipe out Christians. Our villages are being emptied, renamed, and occupied by those who kill us. He cited historical roots in the 19th century jihad led by Usman Dan Fodio, which he said failed to conquer certain areas, but has been resurrected with modern weapons. Armed groups like Boko Haram, ISWAP, Fulani militias, and bandits were accused of pushing an Islamic hegemony, using tactics of raiding, killing, displacing, and occupying land. Dachemo highlighted specific incidents to underscore the urgency. He referenced the ongoing captivity of Leah Sharibu, abducted in 2018 for refusing to renounce her faith, and the infamous 2014 Chibok girls kidnapping. More recently, he pointed to the November 21st, 2025, Abduction of 303 children and 12 teachers from St. Mary's Catholic Primary and Secondary School in Papiri, Niger State, which led to widespread school closures in northern Nigeria. Authorities later reported that around 50 children escaped initially, with subsequent releases bringing the total freed to over 230 by late December, though some remained in captivity. He also mentioned a fresh attack where 12 Christians were killed at a mining site in Atoso village, Bokos local government area, in mid-December 2025, noting that such violence outpaces documentation efforts. Statistics presented included over 1,136 Christians killed in Plateau State alone between December 2023 and December 2024, with thousands displaced and more than 3,000 homes and churches destroyed in targeted attacks. Annexures distributed at the conference contained graphic photos of victims, hospital scenes, and community records, which Dachomo described as testaments of suffering under display. Criticizing the Nigerian government, Dachomo alleged it has failed, refused, or is handicapped to protect us, sharing its monopoly of violence with non-state actors. He cited the case of Sunday Jackson, a Christian convicted for self-defense in Adamawa State, but later pardoned due to international pressure, as emblematic of systemic bias. He also lambasted the implementation of Sharia law in 12 northern states since 1999, drawing parallels to conflicts in Sudan and Pakistan. Dachomo expressed frustration over the silence of prominent Muslim leaders and organizations, such as the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, Muslim Rights Concern, MURIC, Jama'atu Nasrul Islam, JNI, emirs, and sultans. No Islamic leader has spoken against what is happening, he said, contrasting this with attacks on non-Fulani Muslims or moderate voices, like the murder of a former Niedi Allah chairman in Bokos for opposing the violence. The press conference called for Nigeria to uphold its obligations under the Genocide Convention and customary international law, inviting global intervention. The world can no longer look away, Dachomo urged, specifically appealing to the United States in line with our common humanity. The event has amplified ongoing debates about religious violence in Nigeria. U.S. President Donald Trump has labeled the killings a genocide, prompting threats of military involvement and congressional attention, including the Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025. Nigerian officials, including Foreign Minister Yusuf Tugar, have rejected these claims, insisting the violence is complex, driven by factors like resource scarcity and banditry affecting Muslims and Christians alike. The government has welcomed U.S. counterterrorism assistance, but denies any targeted Christian genocide. Muslim leaders like the Islamic Council rejected the allegations of a Christian genocide and emphasizing that extremists like Boko Haram target mosques and Muslim figures as well. Dachomo's message has resonated, with social media users praising his courage and sharing videos of his appeals, some directly tagging Trump. One post noted, "God raised Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo to speak for Nigerian Christians," while others highlighted his personal sacrifices, including discrimination faced by his family. Human rights organizations like Genocide Watch and International Christian Concern continue to document attacks, warning of escalating risks. As Plateau State grapples with sustained violence, including over 120 Christians killed in attacks earlier in 2025, Dachomo's plea underscores a humanitarian crisis, demanding balanced scrutiny and action.
That is the end of the message, my people. This message is the voice of Ezekiel Dachomo, telling the whole world that everything that they are hearing from Nigerian government are all lies, which is very, very correct. Everything. Then he used to say, anything that God cannot do does not exist. But now it has turned to anything APC and the Zoological Republic of Nigeria government cannot do does not exist. So, my wonderful people, you don't hear them now from the horse's mouth. So please, make use of it. Like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos. Follow us on all our social media handles. And as you do that, my God must surely follow you to solve all your problems. Emphasis on all your problems. Que Messiano.